Hey there, this is a Unit 7's test study guide on the unit circle. So we're going to start with topic 1 that we went over, which is sketching angles. So let's look at the left side and fill in these blanks. So the first thing you want to do is place the initial side on the positive x-axis. So I need everybody to make sure you are drawing the initial side. So I can go ahead and I can do that on every single one of these. Okay, every single one of those I can go ahead and put it on there. Now we're going to determine the direction of rotation. So positive angles rotate counterclockwise. All right, and I'll write down so you can see what that is. Counterclockwise is going in this direction. Negative angles go clockwise, which is going in this direction, okay, when we go to do this. So then we have to determine how far to rotate. In other words, that angle, how far are we going to go? So if we're going in the first quadrant, the most you would go is 90 degrees, or pi over 2 radians. So up top, 90 degrees. If we go into the second quadrant, that is 180 degrees, or pi radians. If we go into the third quadrant, we're going all the way to 270 degrees, or 3 pi over 2 radians. And an entire circle is 360 degrees, or 2 pi radians. And then we'll just draw our arrow. So let's look at problem 1, 470. 470 is bigger than all the way around. So let's take out one rotation of 360, and you get 110 degrees. That's what I want you to draw, the terminal side. So if 90 is up here, we know somewhere here is the terminal side at 110 degrees. But we know we have to go all the way around, so we always start at the initial side, and we're going to go in the positive direction all the way around, and then keep going till we get to that. So this is 360 plus 110. That's how you draw that, okay? Now, negative 310, that is not all the way around once. That is less than that. But we are in the negative direction, so that means we are going clockwise. That means this means 90. This always means 180, but up here means 270 because we are going backwards. But I know 310 is bigger than 270, so I'm going to draw it somewhere here. This is negative 310. As long as I start here, and I go all the way to my terminal side. I don't go all the way around once because this is not bigger than 360. All right, negative 17 pi over 5. You have a choice. You can figure out where it is on the unit circle. I like to convert it to degrees. So this is negative 612 degrees. So that is more than one time around. So I'm going to go ahead and take out, but the only way to take it out is to do the opposite symbol. So I'm going to add 360. That gives me 252. So I know I'm going all the way around once and 252 more degrees. All right. Now, because it's negative, I'm going backwards, which means this is 90 down here, and this is 270 up here. So I know 252, I'll put the 180 here. 252 is not bigger than 270, so I know my terminal side is over here. But I do know I have to go all the way around once. So I'm going to go all the way around once, and then I'm going to keep going till I get to 270 in the backwards direction or clockwise direction. All right, 13 pi over 8. I don't like radians, so I'm going to convert it to convert it to degrees, and this is 292.5 degrees, okay? I can have a decimal here because I'm converting radians to degrees, okay? Now, 292, now I'm going forwards. So this is 90 back up top. 180 is always over here, 270 at the bottom. 292 is bigger than 270, so I know it's coming over here. It's not more than one time around, so starting on the initial side all the way till I get to that angle. And there you go. Okay? All right, moving on. Let's see if it'll let me raise this up. There we go. Now we're just converting. Here is my converting factors. If I want to go from degrees to radians, I multiply by pi over 180. If I want to go from radians to degrees, I multiply 180 divided by pi. So here we are at degrees. I'm going to multiply by pi over 180. And when I do that, I get 47 pi over 18. Now, say you didn't want to do this in your calculator. You would get 470 pi, because you multiply the top, over 180. Now, here's a shortcut. Those zeros go away, and I'm left with 47 pi over 18. Okay? All right, negative 310 degrees. I'm converting to radians, so I'm going to multiply it by pi over 180. And I get negative, see, here's the shortcut, 310 pi over 180. Cancel those zeros out, and you get negative 31 over 18. Don't forget the pi. Now, again, put all these in your calculator, and it will reduce it for you. So there is no excuse why it's not reduced. It just means, to me, you didn't put it in your calculator. All right, going the other way, we're converting radians to degrees, which we did this up above. So we are going to multiply 180 over pi, and you get negative 612 degrees. Same thing with this one. We're going to multiply 180 over pi, and we already did it up above, and we get 292.5 degrees. All right, we're going to keep moving. All right, coterminal angles. Coterminal angles are angles that share common terminal sides. Common terminal sides. Each angle has many coterminal angles, which you can find by adding or subtracting 360 degrees, or if it's in radians, 2 pi radians. So if it's degrees, you do 360. If it's radians, you do 2 pi. But remember, I said one positive and one negative. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract 360, and I get 110 degrees. There is my positive one, 110 degrees. If I add 360, I get another positive one. Both of them are correct, but I need one positive and one negative. So this time I'm going to take that 110 and subtract 360 again, and I get negative 250 degrees. And that's what goes here. Okay? I could do it again. As long as I have one positive and one negative, please make sure you check that. All right, negative 310. This time I'm going to add 360, and I get positive 50 degrees. That is the positive one. If I subtract 360, I get negative 670. Now I have one positive one and one negative one. Please be very careful with that. All right, when I give you radians, we do 2 pi. So I'm going to add 2 pi, And when I add 2 pi, I get negative 7 pi over 5. Okay, that's my negative one. Let's subtract 2 pi. Let's see what happens when I subtract 2 pi. Well, subtracting and subtracting will give me another negative one. I don't want to do that. I need a positive one. So let's continue with negative 7 pi over 5 and add 2 pi again. And this time you get a positive 3 pi over 5. And that's what goes here. Okay? All right, let's try this one. 13 pi over 8 is positive. Let's try subtracting 2 pi. And when you do that, you get 29 pi over 8. Positive one. Sounds good. All right, now let's try it with adding 2 pi. And you get, sorry. Let me back up. I'm just copying it from my notes. 13 pi is the positive. 29 pi over 8 is the positive one. Sorry, 29 pi over 8 goes down here when I added 2 pi. When I subtracted 2 pi, I got negative 3 pi over 8. And that's what goes here. Some of you might have already caught me on that. All right, good job. Let's see what's going on here. Reference angles. Reference angles are formed by the terminal side of an angle and the nearest side of the x-axis. They are always positive and acute. Acute just means that they are less than 90 degrees. All right, that's all acute means. Less than 90 degrees. All right, so let's see what happens. 470, okay? 470 is all the way around once. So we need to take out one rotation, and we get 110. Now, the closest x-axis, because we know it's in the second quadrant, because we already did it above, okay, is 180. So what is 180 minus 110? That gives you 70 degrees. That is your reference angle. Closest x-axis is 180, and you took away 110. Okay? All right, negative 310. It's not quite 360. We know it's located in the first quadrant, going backwards. So we know the closest x-axis is 360 degrees. So we're going to take out the 310, and the difference is 50 degrees. All right, so let me show you. Here's 310. Here's the closest x-axis at 360. That's my reference angle. Remember, reference angles are always, always positive. All right, now we have radians. All right, I'm one of those. We could, as long as we know where this is, if we go back up here, I like to convert it to degrees. We know it is, we drew it. We know it's in the the second quadrant. So 180 is the closest to it. Okay, so we know it's in the second quadrant. We're at 180 or pi. So you could do two different things. You could say pi minus, but we'd have to figure out what this degree is here. Okay, what this degree is here because it's more than one rotation. So I always like to convert it to a degree, and you get 252 degrees because it's minus 612, take away a whole rotation, and you get 252. Now, this is 252. What is the difference between 252 and 180? And you get 72 degrees, but this is in radians. So change it to 2 pi